All right, guys, welcome in. This is going to be the official GBA rules offensive gameplay breakdown video. This is going to go over, offenses. It's going to give you examples on how to play GBA offense without being called for 4 out, 5 out. It'll also tell you, what we want to see, how to keep your team involved. If you're a three chasing guard, we have stuff for you. If you're a slashing guard, we have stuff for you. So we're just gonna get right into it. This is just made for as a visual example for you guys, so that you guys know what's right, what's not, so we don't have any issues going forward. So first, the gameplay rules state that the GBA was created for players of all skill levels and the idea of playing a game through variety. We understand that there are comp leagues that allow teams to play 4 or 5 out every possession, and that's cool, but we value everyone's time. We don't want you to spend $100 to sit in the corner. We know it can be beat. We don't knock the skill of it, but it's just boring to watch. So, variety is going to be the key, giving people different looks, have fun with your teammates, see what they can do, participate in the storylines, pick up some fake beefs. It's a cool community thing. This is not a sweaty comp scene. It's supposed to be sim, but we all know 2K be on bullshit. So I just decided to record a video for you guys to show you what legal 4 out is, what legal 5 out is, how you can switch it up, how you can keep your teammates involved. And first off, we're going to use my Freeze of Force team to show you a legal 4 out offensive breakdown. I'll tell you the cues I give my team. I'll tell you what they look for, where they have to be, so that we can play a GBA style that's competitive. I can still chase threes. If you don't know me, I am the Steph Curry of the league. I've hit 2,500 threes, so I always look to three chase, and then I dunk when I have to. And I know we have a lot of comp players that come in and don't necessarily adjust well to the non-constant 4 out and get in the bucket. So this video is just going to show you an example of what I do, to create different looks, keep my teammates involved, and with 3-pointers and stuff, and shoot 3-pointers. So this is going to be the Freeze of Force series versus Chaos Theory. That's the film that I'm breaking down here. So as you can see, we have my shooting guard in the corner and my center is slipping. So this play, I believe I called for Pop to go from right corner through to the left corner. Ice is supposed to come up to the hash here when I go middle, and we run a pin down screen for my shooter out the corner. So one of the things you can do in the GBA is let your shooting guard start in the corner, and you can set screens for him to come up in action. Now, I'm pretty sure Ice falls asleep here and doesn't come up to the hash when I go middle, but it's fine because the play ends up working, right? And for you guys that have shooting guards that like to chase threes, this is a great play you can run. It's a very Steph Curry-like play where 2 run to the shooter here, and you get an open slip off of it. So as Saucy comes off the screen, they both end up chasing to the top, right? And Spill's wide open on the slip. It's a very Warriors-like play. Ice was supposed to rotate up, but the play ended up happening quick. I don't know what happened, but I'm also going to show you guys the cues in my offense once we show a clip coming up the court. So one of the rules on my team that I had, at least, was we set up in all 5 spots of the court immediately. It doesn't matter who's where. So we have 2 corners, 2 hashes, and a top of the key, right? So I always want 2 people in the corners, 1 person opposite hash, whether it's the power forward, small forward, center, it doesn't matter. And then we run actions out of that 4-out setup, and we get different looks off of it. So here, it's a generic 4-out setup with me in the center. One of the keys that I use in my offense as well is I don't dribble behind screens for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds at a time. I try to keep it quick. I try to keep it 2 to 3 moves, then we move on to the next action, right? So you don't get that feeling that you're in a comp matchup where the PG is just spamming behind the screen. Here, Pop goes through on the cut, and I throw the quick pop to Spill because they drop. So here's something really important I want to show here. Quick hitters are a big thing in the GBA, and if we see film where it's a bunch of quick hitters, the defense messed up, you won't get called for 4-out because that's the defense's fault. That's not your team's fault, right? So here, I send that cut for Pop, right? And the center backs up to take the cut. So as I'm coming off the screen, it's just a quick read, right? As Saucy comes up, Now we have a 3-ball. Here's a setup, right? Remember, I told you guys that we just get into our 4-out setup immediately, right? Spill's in the corner because he came up the court first. Saucy's on this hash, and now my power forward who inbounded the ball is coming to set a screen, right? He slips off this wrap. Again, not holding on to the ball too long here, right, to keep the team involved. I throw the slip. It's not there, right? We don't panic. Now, mind you, we're keeping our spacing here, which is very important. So you don't have to run around like a crazy person in order to really play good GBA basketball, right? We just stay calm. The play didn't work. Now we rescreen for the shooting guard, right? I get sent on a cut. Again, keeping our spacing. The cut is not there. I dribble back out. Now my shooting guard cuts. And what do we have? An open corner 3. Now that was a play where basically all of our players touch the ball. And I think a very underrated thing is when it's just one person throwing all the passes, making all the plays, right? Now you can see in a 4-out spacing how we attacked the team with multiple cuts. We had wraps, we had kickouts, we had patience, right? Here's a defensive stop that we get. As you can see, my center's going to the corner, right, with my power forward in front of me. Now Saucy would have to fill to this corner, right, because Pop's on the hash, but I throw the ball to him and we end up going on a wrap, and now we see our spacing's a little messed up, which Pop does the smart thing here, and he understands, hey, there's a wrap coming. Now I'm going to space through to the corner, right? As he spaces through the corner, Saucy drops because the center, again, in this game, I think Slim's detail was to take everything away from the paint. Now Spill gets an open corner 3, right? So you can see the difference in when a point guard is just dribbling behind screens and when you use your team in a legal 4-out offense to create different looks. There's multiple cuts, there's different people touching the ball, there's kickouts, we're drawing and kicking out. So those are just some examples of legal 4-out offense, right? And now we're gonna move to the 5-out portion of the video, right? Because Lynx runs a 5-out, but he does it legal. So I want to break that down for you guys as well. So here we have the Shell Shock versus Thundercats series, and we're going to show different looks that Lynx uses to start his team in a 5-out, but he plays GBA ball with the spacing. Now, if you know Lynx, he's not a real play caller guy. He likes his guys to play free. He likes to attack matchups. So here's some examples of how if you're a guard who likes to get downhill, if you're a guard who likes to play 5-out, that's fine. You can start your offense in a 5-out, but you got to create different looks and you got to create variety. So here we go. Lynx comes off of it. It's a quick hitter. Again, you're going to have a lot of these possessions in GBA where you're going to score quick if you can take advantage of the defense. That will never get called for 4-out, 5-out. Right? It's just a quick attack. He's not holding the ball. You can see the theme from my offense and his offense here, where that's one of the looks he does. Now we have another position. Now all these clips, if you guys notice, are going to be in the first half of the game. So I want to show you different looks. Here we have a quick, what we call a ghost screen, where the guard doesn't really set a screen and his defender backs up, right? So it's another clean look. Boom, it's an open 3, right? So again, Lynx has a variety of things he does in these offenses to keep his team involved. And that's why the 5-out from Lynx is okay. That's why my 4-out offense is okay. Just so you guys can see the difference. Here we have another possession where Lynx tries to attack early. He doesn't have it. So this is a good team possession, right? Because everyone is getting a chance to attack their defender. He doesn't have it. He kicks it to Monk in the corner. Monk resets to Lynx. And then Lynx comes off the screen and shoots a mid-range. Again, you guys can see how the team is involved in the offense in the 5-out. So you've seen some 4-out examples, you've seen some 5-out examples, right? And I think we may have 1 or 2 more here before we move on to different teams. But again, here comes Lynx in his panic 5-out, and Lynx is always going to look to attack mismatches and just let his guys play free. Again, quick hitter, right? So he does a pullback. I understand that there's no motion here, but again, it's a quick hitter, and it's not every play that this has happened. That's the key. You've seen 4 or 5 different plays in the first half. They've all had different looks. The defense backs up. He keeps them honest with a 3. Here comes a stop they got. Now they're coming up the court, and I think another underrated thing is people letting someone other than the point guard handle the rock. This is Fascinate, aka 9 Go Crazy. He's one of the veterans in the league. He's a smart player. Lynx is going to let him do his thing here. He comes down, gives it to Monk off the pinch. Monk resets it to Lynx, right? They look at the movement. They're setting screens for each other, still in that 5-out spacing. He throws a wrap. It's not there, but they're patient. Again, guys, this is what GBA is all about, right? They kick out to Rondo here with 3 seconds left, and they keep their spacing and they get a dunk. Again, so you guys can see what the offenses are supposed to look like going forward. So if you're a new player in the league or you're a 3 chasing guard, you've seen some examples of how to run 4 out and keep your spacing. If you're a guy who likes to slash, you've seen how to run a 5 out and keep your team involved. And just through variety. And here we have a couple of examples as well with Cuz Lightyear. We got some different teams doing different stuff. So this possession, it's a quick pass to the top of the key. Here, I like this play a lot because they run bucks, which is a double wrap off the pass to the center, and then it's a double pin down for the corners to flash up, right? It's not there. Ghost kicks corner, comes and sets the screen. Cuz looks for a quick bucket, doesn't have it, moves it to Joe. Again, Joe pops back out, and Ghost ends up missing this, but this is what GBA basketball is supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look like a 1-man, 2-man show, or just high ball screen, call a cut, and that's it. Again, keep the team involved, guys. Here we have a play from Thundercats, right, in the same series. Again, Stacks comes up. Here's another quick hitter. These possessions are not considered 4 out, 5 out. This is just, I came up the court, I scored very quickly, we're going to move on. So the GBA is going to be a mix of these type of possessions with team-oriented possessions. And as long as you keep your team involved and you play this way, you will be fine. Here, I decided to include a quick hitter from Saucy because I know there's been a lot of controversy with him being a comp guard, and they're saying he's doing illegal stuff. This is an example of a good quick 3 that gets off in GBA a lot, where like the defense is being super aggressive. So Saucy, he just comes up the court, they bumping him. All right, I'm just gonna crab him, shoot a 3. Like these types of possessions are gonna happen a lot during games. That doesn't make them illegal, right? He got up the court, hit a little crab, he was open, he shot the ball. Those possessions are fine. But again, you'll see the key in the variety. Here we have Reek, another veteran guard, right? He calls a wrap. And it's just team basketball, guys. These are all examples of what the game should look like. And we get a 3 from Broadway here. So if there's any confusion, here are some visual examples of what the offenses should look like and what really you need to do in the league to keep your team out of trouble while still being able to be aggressive. Here's Austin the Defiler and Honey Boys in the same game against Reek. I believe this is the play-in. And you'll just see how they keep their spacing. Austin, there was a wrap, it wasn't there. He hit Renee, wrap, quick slip, that's not there. Spade kicks it back out to the point guard, and he drives, and it's a kick for a midi. So, along with the rules being posted, I just wanted to give you guys examples and make you understand why some offenses are okay and why some offenses are not. Now, this is the end of 2K25, so going forward in 2K26, we will be making sure that all the teams are in the league are playing team-oriented offense, and if you are not, we are going to proactively make sure to reach out to you to make sure you're playing offense the right way. That's all for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day.